Hi, my name is Navid Lancaster. I'm a sound engineer, music producer, and the owner of Lancaster Limited. I've been a producer slash engineer for about 16 years now. Yeah. And I started basically from the ground up, doing, you can say, the grunt work, making tea, making coffee. I started by Kenny Phillips down in Palm East. He trained me for 3 months, and the funny thing about it is that before that I had no experience in the technical part of production. I was always a musician. I play guitar mainly, but now, of course, now I do piano, I do a little bit of harmonica, I do some drums, I do bass as well. But beginning, I started with guitar. I had my own band called Broken Mirrors. I know I don't look like it, but that actually was a metal band, you know. Yes, I used to play like death metal and thing, which is really interesting. And then we graduated, you could say, gradually to what we call Trini progressive music. And before that, I was in a band called AK-47 for 2 years, and we played calypso, soca, back in times, reggae, that kind of thing. But I wanted to get more into sound engineering after seeing Kenny Phillips on TV. I called TV6 because he was being interviewed by TV6 at the time, and they put me on to Kenny Phillips. Kenny Phillips said, if you want to learn about this thing, leave your job. So I left my job, and he told me he was going to train me the way he was trained, and I thought that was a case of he's going to show me this button is for that, that button is for that. No, he just threw me in the water, you know. In front of a Mac computer, which I had never used because up to that time I had always used PC. Using Logic at the time, I think it was Logic 4 point something or 5 point something that year, because it was a few years ago. With 2 paying clients and the clock ticking, yeah, that's how I started my sound engineering career, the hard way, you know. And during that time, it was just during carnival season. You know, so people are coming in to get their stuff produced. So I get both on cuss by Ricky Jai, I get both on cuss from Ira George, and any other major soca artists at the time that passed through. Because I was the grunt and I didn't know what I was doing at the time, you know, finding my way to make clients happy. And yeah, after that, I left there, worked in a small studio in St. James. On Delhi Street, I think it was, called Proden. Worked there for a while, doing what I termed yuppie music. Yuppie meaning that stuff you play for Radio 97. They kind of buy my music, you know, please kind of thing, where do a little bit of adult contemporary, do music for ads that play on those kind of adult contemporary radio stations and stuff. And then after a few months, I left there and worked for 6 years in Spectacular Promotions. On Anna Street, one day on Anna Street at the time. Ran both their recording studios, A and B. You know, so I did that for 6 years, left there, worked at Napa for 4 years. During that time, I was one of the people co-running the music technology lab there. So we were teaching people to be better music producers, better sound engineers. I did a lot of live sound in terms of Panorama. Actually, the 2011-2012 Panorama Finals CDs, you actually see my name on it. We were the first group to record Panorama in 5.1 surround sound. The stream of successes is mainly in the film industry. 2012, I did the soundtrack for Buck the Man Spirit. By Stephen Taylor, directed by Stephen Taylor, and written by Stephen Taylor. That won People's Choice Award for Best Short. 2013, I did the soundtrack for A.D.R, which won People's Choice Award at the Trinidad and Tobago Film Festival in 2013. 2014, I was a technical assistant for Pan, Our Music Odyssey, which has been won multiple awards, being broadcasted on PBS and things like that. In 2015, yeah, I was the sound mixer and the music editor for Pan, Our African Odyssey, which won Best Feature-Length Documentary at Trinidad and Tobago Film Festival. And this year, 2016, I co-composed the soundtrack for Tomb, which is the first ever full-length science fiction film shot entirely in Trinidad and Tobago, and my part was the launch sequence, so I did the music for the launch sequence. Besides that, I've had a lot of music put in animation. Actually, the last 3 animations from CARICOM are actually dealing with bullying and abuse and things like that. It's my soundtrack, that's part of it. Actually, I just came from a week-long, you can say workshop slash meet and greet called Anime Crave. It's a fantastic thing. It's in its 15th year. And funny enough, a lot of the music that people were showing in their presentations in terms of Guyana and Suriname, they did a collaboration with animation, and it was my soundtrack. CARICOM did a presentation where they were showing various aspects of what they do for animation, and all the animation that they showed, it's mine, has my music in it. So apparently my name is moving around, which is great. And also in mobile apps, I've been collaborating with a guy, he's in Canada, and also Canada and the States, he in both places. But he's from Trinidad originally. His name is Anthony Phils, and he's been putting out a lot of apps that deal with aspects of Trinidad culture. So for example, we put out a mobile app called 30 Stories in 30 Days, where every day you get a story, either as a text, a video, or just audio. And I did all the sound design and music for those apps, among other things. Yeah. My advice for people who want to score for film: one, most importantly, have a very wide interest in music, all genres, because you don't know what will pop up. You don't know what the director wants, or especially what the story wants. And if you want to get work, you better have a wide variety of music in your head, to be very imaginative, because I get up sometimes in a morning with songs already mixed and mastered in my head, which is crazy. But you should be able to take that, what's in your skull, and put it, in a way that when people listen to it, they say, yeah, this is the feeling the character wants to portray. But I think most importantly, and I think this goes across any business, is to be a people person. You have to relate to people, because your skills can be world class, but if your attitude is shitty, well, tough. You're not going to get any work. So it's just like any business, it's a people business. And besides doing that as well, you also have to learn how to sell yourself, to show your prospective client that you are the right person for the job. The major issue, which I still deal with the higher up I go, is self-doubt. You reach to a level and then you get comfortable. But with that comfort comes complacency, and with complacency comes the diminishing of the standard of your work. So I strive to go higher. And of course, when you go higher, you get uncomfortable. But that is actually a sign that you're improving. If I'm not uncomfortable, then that's a problem. So I've been fortunate that as I keep going higher and higher, I get more responsibility. I'm fortunate to have a track record in various industries that I do get uncomfortable. And with that, and once I jump that fear and cross that bridge, I reach another level, and more opportunities open up. So my advice to anybody to get to any field or to get better at anything, you have to be uncomfortable. There's no way about it. And by the way, you will fail. I know it's cliche that people say that, but yeah, that's what happens. You fail, you get up, you fail, you get up, you fail, you get up, and then you succeed. I'd like to say thank you to everybody who supported my work, whether it's purely in the music industry or in what I brought to the film, mobile apps, gaming, these kind of things. I'd like to thank my mom as well, who was actually my first supporter when at the ripe old age of 19, I decided to pick up a guitar and decided to become a musician. She was totally for it. And all my friends who actually supported me when they realized this is the direction that I wanted to go in. And this will sound kind of strange, but I'd like to say thank you to all the people who are my detractors as well, because I have had a lot of that, especially when I first started out, where people were telling me, oh, you know, you sure you want to do this? You know, you want to do a second job, hobby, you know, that kind of rubbish. And I do say rubbish, you know, I make no qualms about that. My advice to people is to follow your heart, follow your calling, regardless of what people tell you or what society tells you. Because that's one of the few things on this planet that you will actually get true happiness from, you know, expressing yourself. And believe that you can do it. Even in an economy like Trinidad and Tobago, you could pull it off.